So recently, I was transferred to Eduseeds to more on training and handling all the events that's going on. So this is me, and just want to share a little bit on my recent trip. Recently, we made a trip to Yangon, Myanmar, and I think you all are aware that what's happening in Myanmar right now is that there's like wars going on, and people are literally being, how shall I say, suppressed by the government. But the thing is, during our training when we went over there, we we had almost like 80 over teachers and 20 over administrators, and all of them represent around 15 to 16 schools. So when we were doing the training, questions were thrown to us that I've never even like thought of it before. I mean, one that really took me by surprise was they'd be asking me, what happened, teacher, when the students, while they're studying, if there's a crisis, for example, bombing is going around and they have to run for their life, they have to escape, can they just bring the computer and wherever they are, they can continue their studies? So it was a question that was never thrown to us during our years of training. So it was like, oh, wow. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine we are right now here? Anytime there's going to be bombing, anytime the war is going on, and you got to be ready. And while we conduct a training, there was this another center. He told us, yesterday night, near my place, there was a few bombs here and there. So this morning we woke up, a lot of things not working, and even the Wi-Fi was down. So can you imagine that is the crisis, that is the situation that been encountered. But when we went there for training, I can see the eagerness in them. Each and every of those teachers, they are so eager to learn. They are so eager to wanting to know more, to make a difference for the next generation. So it really touched my heart. And I can really feel them that despite what is going on around the country, education is still something very much on their mind. And it really makes a difference. And today, when I'm sitting here looking at you guys, when Jess reached out to all of you, like kind of corresponded with you all, and the way you responded immediately, I think that speaks volume too. That means that each and every one of you, even like right now, you're sitting here listening to me, it's because you want to learn something. You want to expand your horizon. You want to, whatever it is, you want to have something that you can collect, not for yourself, but to make a difference to the next generation, right? Am I right? Yes? Can give me a thumbs up, anything? Yeah. So that's why you are here today, because you can do so many things with your time. All right. So today, while we're sitting down here, we shall not make it into like a one-way traffic. Okay. I would like to open this more like a forum where I talk and you talk too, where we share ideas, where we brainstorm, so that when we leave this meeting, not only you are just hearing from me, but I'm hearing from you too. And I'm learning from you too, because I always believe in everything that is two-way. I learn from you, you learn from me. All right, guys? Okay. So yes, so we do have people around the world. In fact, soon Eduseeds will be opened up in Nepal. There are schools that wants us to go there, to share with them what we are doing in Malaysia. So yes, God has been good, and Eduseeds has been out there, not for anything but for the children. Okay, so without further ado, I shall just proceed and I will share my screen on my presentation. Okay. Can you see it? Yeah? Yes?
Not yet. Oh, okay,
Can you see the
yes.
screen?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, all right. Let me just push this up a bit. Okay. Oh, all right. I think I have opened up the wrong one. Just give me a second, yeah? Okay. Sorry for the boo-boo. Can you see it now? Okay. Let me move this a bit up here. Okay, I shall just briefly lay down the foundation on education. I think all of us know this, that, you know, the work of building a nation starts in the classroom. Okay, the work of a nation starts from the classroom. All of us know that. Okay, it's very important for us to be aware that you are the leaders in your class. We know that children watches us all the time, and whatever we do, whatever we say, it does impact the life of the children. So it is very important for us to acknowledge that how important we are. It's not in the prideful way, but in a way that we really do make a difference in the life of the children. They watch us what we do. So do remember, guys, okay, that each and every one of us, even though you make a difference in the life of one child in your whole class, that child can make a difference to the nation. I just want to share a little bit. Wait, someone is coming in. I just want to share a little bit with all of you. I've been with Metro Ministries in New York for 5 years. It is a children ministry where we do sidewalk. You know, in New York, there's a lot of how shall I say, broken home children. You know, the blacks, the Chinese. So what we do is we go to literally to the streets. We go to the park, and we share the gospel with all those kids. So Metro Ministries, we share the word with them. And the founder of this ministry is nearly by one person, a child that was abandoned by the parents. He was left alone by the streets, and he grew up with determination that he will make a difference to other children. And right now in New York, Metro Ministries is one of the biggest sidewalk Sunday Sunday school workshop. Every week they minister to 20 over 1,000 children. So just merely by one person. So know that in your class, when you stand and face your class, even though you make a difference in the life of one child, that makes a whole lot difference. So do remember that. Okay, guys? Okay, I'm going to move on to the next one. Okay, I can't seem to move my cursor. Just give me a second, yeah? Something is jammed here. All right. My cursor is not moving.
Try to escape first, teacher
Yeah.
Susan. Yeah.
Let me see whether it moves. Okay. All right. Thanks. Okay. Just want to share with these two Bible verse because when I first started being an educator, this really impacted me. In Proverbs 27:23, it says, "Be sure to know the condition of the flocks. Give careful attention to your herds." So this is, I feel, to me, and I hope that I can share with all of you, that I felt that when we step into the classroom, before we can even do anything, we need to know the condition of our children. So here God is telling us, be sure you know the condition of your flocks. To me, the definition here, the flocks is referring to the children, okay, the students in our class, and give careful attention to your herds. So we need, number one is that we need to, no matter, before we do anything, we need to know the condition of our children in our class. And we need to give very good attention to them before we can even make any impartation or any differences in their life. And the next one, as it says here in 1 Peter 4:10, each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. Whatever gifts that God has given us, each and every one of us, we know we are different parts of the body, right? I could be just the fingers, and Angela could be the thumb, and Jazz could be something else, and all the rest of us could be different part of the body. But whatever it is, the gift that God has given us, the most important thing is we need to be faithful steward. Because if we are faithful in the very little that God has given us, God will definitely bless the rest. So I want to leave behind these two verbs is that, number one, know your children. Number two, whatever gifts that God has blessed us with, whatever calling God has called you to be faithful and be a good steward. From there, I believe when God sees your heart, everything that you do, God will bless you abundantly. And through you, you will bless the children. All right. So that is the foundation that I'm placing in. And we're going to move on. Okay. Teaching is not just about delivering information. I need to move this away and reduce it. Okay. Teaching is not just about delivering information. It's about creating experiences, opportunities that inspire and ignite a passion within a student. What does that mean? In this time of technology, we know that as long your student has a handphone in the hand, they can just at the tip of the fingers, beep, 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 they can access to anything. So for us educators now, our role is totally different. It's not just walking into a classroom and just standing by the whiteboard and la 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 la. It's totally different. They don't need that. They don't need that because at the touch of the finger, they can get all the information they want, all the AI and etc. They can even draft an essay just within 1 minute. You know that, I know that, right? So what we need to do as educator now, we have to switch our role. It's not so much of imparting knowledge. It is to create an experience or opportunity or to ignite something that's burning within them. Each and every of the children in your class, there is something inside them that is slowly flickering. It is a tiny fire, and it is our duty to make sure that we are there to ensure that we ignite the passion. We make the fire grow stronger and bigger. Because when that happens within a child, nothing will stop the child from anything, from studying, from excel in anything that he or she wants to do. So we are not just walking the classroom, delivering information. We walk into the classroom to get to know each and every of our child, to find out what it is that's within them, to create an interest within them, to create something that let them explode from within. That's our job. That's what we educators need to do now. Our role has changed, okay? It is our duty as educators to help this. Just move on a little bit. Okay, to help these kids to start that little spark. I mentioned earlier, each and every one of us, we always have that something within us. But once you start off the spark, once it start flaming, nothing will stop it. Okay? Okay, it seems to be jammed from time to time. Just give me a minute, yeah? Okay. Okay, so that is my foundation to encourage each and every one of you. All right, that number one is, guys, we need to know our kids well. Number two is Be very faithful in the little that God has given us, and God will bless us. And when we walk into the classroom, it is not so much of imparting just merely knowledge, but we need to start that little spark within them. We need to add fire, we need to add oil into that spark so that they will explode. And when that happens, even us can't stop them from doing their best in their life. All right. So now let's move on. I'm having difficulty with this. Okay. Now, before I proceed to any teaching method or whatsoever, I need to just re-emphasize on Eduseeds key of Eduseed. Okay. And one of it is the daily lesson. She has experience out there with teachers who what shall I say? How shall I say, Jess? Where the teachers need to spend like hours and hours, not to do anything, but just to prepare the next day's lesson. So can you imagine they're spending hours and hours just to prepare what they need to teach the next day? So that's the time that they require. But with EduSeed, everything is already planned out. We know that, right? For majority of us here, we have already used EduSeed for years. So everything is already planned out. So ease the burden of teachers of preparing daily lesson plans and have more time in other activities. I just want to re-emphasize on this because many, how shall I say, many new educators when I conduct the training, the impression they had is that now that with EduSeed, the daily lesson plan is already there. So my life as an educator should be so much more easier. I should just like sit back and relax and have a cup of coffee and but actually it's not. All right. We have the lesson daily plan is to release your burden from preparing what you need to teach the next day and to give you more time to do other activities, to implement other activities, to know your kids, to be able to know your kids. So the lesson plan is to ease, I continue. The lesson plan is to ease the burden from preparation, but gives you more time in doing more activities with your kids. All right. And then the lesson plan also is to ensure consistent and continuous delivery of quality lessons, unaffected by teacher turnover or varying levels of teaching ability. Okay. Do I need to just stop for a while? Okay. I think the pause for a while. I think some technical issue down here. Just give me a second, yeah. Why? Yeah? Sorry, guys. I did not know that my internet was lagging.
Hello, Miss Susan. Is it your internet okay? Because we cannot hear anything from my side. I think okay. Mohon menunggu, mohon maaf, Bapak Ibu sekalian. Mungkin ada sedikit technical untuk internetnya. Mungkin kita bisa menunggu sebentar lagi ya. Terima kasih.
Yeah. So sorry, yeah.
Okay, you're back. Thank you.
I'm back. I mean, just now, all the while, you guys could not hear me.
Yes. You gone for like 3 minutes. Now you gone again. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So how shall we go about when because I wasn't aware that I was gone. So
Just starting daily lesson plan, the one that you enter the daily lesson plan.
okay. All right. So I start from there.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
just send me a text. I'll put my phone right in front of me. Send me a text if I'm gone again.
Sure,
All right. Okay. All right. So let me continue. This is one of the problem of technology. They are good and yet that's bad. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, okay, the lesson plan is the burden of us preparing lessons, but it releases us to do more other activities with our children to enhance in their studies. Okay, because some students they cannot learn through just reading and reading. They need hands-on. All right, they need real life activities for them to able to. Okay? And the next one is to ensure consistent and continuous delivery of quality lessons unaffected by teacher. Okay, it says can you all hear me? My teacher turnover or varying levels of teaching ability. What does that mean? You see, when you switch on the LMS, the lesson is there, right? So it doesn't matter who is taking over the class, who is conducting the class, who is teaching, the lesson plan, the content are there. So nothing can run away. That's the reason why it's consistent and it's continuous delivery of the same quality. All right. Say, for example, you have one teacher last minute call in for MC. Oh, I'm not feeling well today. I need a. Can I see your slide? I already share. I do it. Okay. Okay.
Oke, Bapak Ibu sekalian, mohon menunggu sedikit ada technical issue ya dari HQ kami, mungkin internetnya. Mohon menunggu. Terima kasih.
Hi, sorry for the inconvenience. Yeah, there's some technical problem from Miss Susan place. Yeah, now the IT guy is helping her.
Probably while we're waiting, I'm gonna play few ads ya
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
With Eduseeds, I can learn at my own pace. Eduseeds lets me take my time to understand each and every single concept before moving on, making sure I really grasp every single material on the lesson. It feels great to learn with Eduseeds.
Come learn with
Eduseeds.
Come learn with Eduseeds.
With Eduseeds, my students can learn wherever they are, whether at home, at school, or on the go. Eduseeds provides educational resources 24/7, making learning more flexible and convenient.
With Eduseeds, I get to compete on a global stage. The national and international competitions motivate me to do my best and push my limits. It's exciting to be part of something great and aim for excellence.
Come learn with Eduseeds.
With Eduseeds, I can ensure that our lessons are always consistent and high quality. Eduseeds also ensures that each lesson adheres to educational standards.
Angela, what happened, Angela?
Just a minute. I forgot to optimize the video clip. Okay.
On the lesson.
Yes.
It feels
Okay,
great
now?
to learn with Eduseeds.
The sound, everything.
Come
learn with
Eduseeds.
Because I can tadi
learn with Eduseeds.
I cannot mute the screen. Now okay?
Hold on, yeah.
Okay. Teacher Susan is here. I need to. Miss Susan already here, so I stop share ya.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, can see you, Susan.
Okay, all right, I'll move on. So
Everything
sorry.
okay?
Yeah, everything okay now?
Yeah, no worries.
All right, let me go back to my, wait, just give me a second. I think someone needs to, because I'm not able to share. Jess, did you enable me to share?
You need to put co-host for Miss Susan.
Okay. Hold on. Okay, done.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, so sorry, we are back. Let me see. Let me go to. Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me now?
Okay, I'm good. My side, okay. But
All
the screen not yet started, yeah. Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
I need to reduce it because I need to see my what, yeah. Okay, but just give me hands up from time to time, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're so sorry, so much time wasted. Aduh, what am I doing now? Okay. My mouse doesn't seem to be following what I want it to do. Sincere apology from us here. Okay, we move on. Okay, so I was talking briefly on the consistency. So number one is it is the burden of the teacher, but it gives us more time to do activities with the kids. I just need to move this out a bit. Okay. And another thing is the consistency and the continuous in delivery. All right. And the transparency of lesson. Thank you. The transparency of lesson plan. What does that mean? Okay. Transparency means. Yeah, I think so. Nothing much better. Yeah. Transparency means, for example, like parents. Okay, I have encountered some parents where they want to see what we are teaching. So what I told the parents is go to the LMS to be able to see the content of the lesson, what your child is studying for the day. So it is not, you see, normally some national school, the parents can't see or they do not know how the teacher is conducting the class because there's nothing for them to see. But over here, when you look at the lesson plan, when you look at the LMS, they know, this is what my child is studying today. So you see, with Eduseed, the way we plan things out is good for everybody, the teacher, the parents. Okay, I'll move on to the next. Please slow me down if I'm talking too fast, yeah? And another thing is, students have control of their daily learning pace. Okay, with Eduseed, I saw some of the, in fact, I saw some of the videos that you all have prepared, your promotional video. It was so good. I even saw one of the kids was saying, with Eduseeds, I can learn anywhere, I can learn anytime, I can learn according to my own pace. So you see, so that's how it is with Eduseed. You can carry anywhere, you can even study anytime and according to your pace. Because as long as you got a connection, it's everywhere. All right. And it's personalized, adaptive, independent learning, resulting students' confidence in themselves. Okay. End of the day, Eduseeds pedagogy is, we always mention this, student-centric. All right. Student-centric meaning, of course, we all know that 60%, I would say, lean towards the child, the independency of learning on their own. And 40%, that's where the teacher will come in to help. But please bear in mind that doesn't mean that the 60% when the child is studying, the teacher is relaxing. Okay, I need to keep emphasizing that to ensure any misconcept on student-centric. All right. And the next one I wish to recap is on the 4M's concept. Eduseed pedagogy, we base on this 4M's concept, which is manage, we monitor, mentorship, and the mastery. Okay, so I will break it down. We will start on with the manage. I'm sure many of us being educated, we have encountered where sometimes the class get a little bit out of control, right? So do you find it difficult to conduct your lessons when everything is so rowdy, right? So the environment of the classroom plays a significant role in students' ability to study and learn effectively. And also we do have sometimes in a class, we do have students where they have certain learning disability where too much noise will distract them or too much noise will really affect in their studies. They can't handle it because their mind works differently. So to manage a classroom, that is a rule number one. Because if your classroom is, kids are walking around, kids are talking anytime, and things are just not in order, even how good a teacher you are, even how good your presentation, even how good you are carrying, you're delivering your lesson, you know what, by the time it reaches to the kids, everything goes off because the noise, the sound, the disturbance, everything. Okay, so it's very important for us as an educator. Rule number one is to be able to manage the class. As you can see in these two pictures, the comparison, when you're able to manage the class, the environment of the class, being whatever you're doing for both the students and the teacher, it goes two-way, and it's very, I would say, it benefits all of them. But when the class is rowdy, I would say our time is wasted in conducting it. Okay, so managing a class is very important, and I wish to emphasize there is no rules like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 how we can manage a class. Sometimes we have to get ideas of our own. But I wish to emphasize these 2 points as how, or these 2 factors in managing a classroom. Or I will speak it from my experience of throughout my 15 years of being an educator. Number one is boundaries. Okay, all of us, I was told by Jess that sometime July, you'll be starting your beginning of the year of your education of your school. Okay, when school starts, when the student starts coming in, okay, to their respective classes, where you have your form teachers handling them, that is a very, I would say, crucial time for us educators and for the student. Why? Because that is the time where you have to set boundaries, because students can read us. What shall I say? Okay, I'll go slow on this. The 2 factors in managing classroom will be the boundaries. Boundaries means you have to set your rules and regulation in the classroom from the very beginning. So when your kids start coming to your classroom, the first semester, is very important for us educators to set boundaries, which all of us, I'm sure we do. We have our time where we talk to the kids, the do's and the don'ts, right? And the second factor is, educators, you need to be consistent. All right, I'll just move on to the next slide first. Okay, we need to define clear rules where we talk about boundaries. Define clear rules for behavior, conduct, academic, performances, whatever that you want to set the rules. Okay, you set it with your kids at least in the first week of the school calendar. So you need to set the boundaries. And number 2 is you need to reinforce them throughout the year with consistency. Let me give you some example. Like when I was an educator, we do have subject teachers walk into the classroom. So for me, I kind of ensure or make it a point that the student knows me, what kind of teacher I am. I set the rules and I'm consistent throughout the whole year. So I make sure that whatever I say is carried out. It's not one day I'm in a good mood, next day I'm in a terrible mood. So the kids can't read us. So we need to be very consistent in what you say and what you do. The rules that's carried out, it must be on point. And so what happens is that the kids knows me, so they really behave. And what I meant that, so the teaching was good. We able to communicate. I mean, the environment of the class was fine. But when the next teacher walks in, says a subject teacher walks in, you know what happened? Immediately, the whole classroom becomes chaotic. I was like wondering why. It's that one moment they're doing the work, they talk softly to their friends, they're still playing around, but they're more on with limitation. But once the next teacher comes in, immediately everything is gone. Everything went out of control. So you see, then I realized, because that teacher is very relaxed. That teacher is like anything can do. I'll be just teaching, and you can walk around. I won't say much. I won't even reprimand you guys. So you see, what I'm trying to say here is that students can read us. Students know this teacher, she's firm, but she's okay. And that teacher, I can climb all over her. So when you need to manage a class, I feel that the two factors, which is you need to set the boundaries, and you need to have consistency. Once you tell them what needs to be done and you manage it throughout the whole year, you are consistent with it, I can assure you that you will have a very, very good, you will end up having a very good relationship with your kids, because you're able to have communication with them. All right. So the next one, monitor. Yesterday, I believe Jacob, our colleague, have already gone through the hands-on of goal setting. So, but today I'll just touch on a little bit on why is goal setting so important. Why do we keep talking about goal setting? Why do we insist that students must do their goal setting? Okay, I just briefly touch on it. The importance of GSS, the goal setting system for students. All right. You see, it helps in developing self-discipline and growth mindset. You see, all of us, we are aware that if you do things repeatedly every day you do the same thing over and over again, what does that develop into? It develops into a habit. And it's not only a habit, but it's a good habit. It's something that when you do something over and over again, and it is a good, positive action, eventually it will grow up to be, it will somehow somehow it will ingrowth within them, and it develops into a habit, and it helps in enhancing responsibility and accountability. What do I mean by that? So when the kids open up their GSS, when they look at the goal setting, they have to tell themselves that what I've said, whether I like it or not, whether I'm in the mood, whether I'm lazy, whether I'm hardworking, whatever it is, I need to complete whatever I have said. I need to do my English, I need to do my science, I need to do my math. So this kind of reinforce a responsibility to them. I have to finish what I have said today. So as time goes, it will build up a child with a purpose, with a focus, with a direction, and you know very well how the kid is going to grow up to be. Just a small act of setting in goal every day and fulfilling that goal, completing that goal, you'll be surprised how much a little bit of everything, step by step, as the days goes, you compile, you pile out one by one. Eventually, the child will grow up to be a focus, a discipline, and with a purposeful mind. All right. So I have encountered this because I have seen that in my children. Okay. When the beginning of the semester, they are like, some does it, some they do not want. But then as I emphasize on it, consistent on it, as it goes, I've noticed how automatically it already in them. They just get it done, and I can see the changes in them, the development in them. So teachers, is very important for the GSS, okay? So that's the reason why we emphasize on it. Now, for teachers, when I was an educator, normally my class consists of 25 to 28 students. So what happens is that sometimes, having that amount of students, you can't keep track each and every one of them. You can't remember, for example, student A, you have not completed your math, or the correction for your English, or science, this particular chapter you have not completed. So you can't keep track each and every one of them. So with goal setting, it really helps me, because we teachers, we know that we only sign off when the child completes their work, when all corrections is done. So once you sign off, that tracking in the goal setting helps us to monitor the child, whether they have completed their work or not. All right. So able to track students' performances and completion of daily work. So this GSS really helped me tremendously when I was an educator. And also it does have all these extra columns where you mark attendance and etc. And you can even generate reports. So I'm not sure whether Jacob has kind of guided you all through it, that throughout like monthly, you're able to generate a monthly report, how many modules the child has completed, and of course with all the exams and everything. All right, okay. Now, GSS also is important for administrators because we know that administrators, they're able to access to it and they'll be able to see the overall of the students' work and also the teachers. How can the administrator able to engage or manage the teachers? You see, when I switch on my GSS, if when I look at it, says I click on the to teacher A class, and I realized that there's a lot of pending work. All right, says for 20 days, 30 days, or even some like 1-2 weeks, and they're still pending. It's not signed off. Then something is very wrong. So from there, as an administrator, I'm able to know, something is fishy, something is not right. Let me go and check on that teacher and see what is going on. So you see, with the GSS, the administrator is able to manage and able to have an overview of what the teacher is doing or how's the performances of the teacher and the students by just looking at your goal setting. All right, okay. So I've mentioned the 4 M's. The first one is to manage. The second one is to monitor. This monitor is mainly more of monitoring the students' work, the teachers' work. Okay, now we shall move on. Okay, also for parents. When parents goes back home, when the child goes back home, the parents want to see if there's any homework or what has the child completed. They go to the goal setting, and from there they're able to view everything. They're able to know, okay, my child did English 301, 1.2 today, and then it's signed off, meaning there's no homework for him or her. So for the parents, they're able to, so the teachers do not have to have the trouble of calling up the parent and say, so-and-so have to have finished this homework and etc. So by just looking at the goal setting, a parent will be able to gauge what he or she needs to help out the teacher, whether there's any homework when you did not sign off or when you sign off, everything is done. So parents able to assess and view the performances of the child or even the progress. When you put in the, for example, there's an exam, you will key in the mark, right, at the column under the remark. So when the parents look at it, they said, so my child was doing session test and he scored 85. Okay, that's good. So from there, the parents able to assess everything. So you see, with this goal setting itself, for the students, for the teachers, for the administrator, and for the parents, for everybody, I would say it benefits them. All right, so I'm going to move on. Should I check on the chat? Anyone asking me questions? Okay, all right. Okay, I'm going to move on now. Can just interrupt me if there's any questions or just give me a heads up if I am fading off or my internet connection is bad, okay? Am I fading off again?
My side, okay, Miss Susan?
Okay, all right.
Okay, very clear. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I can't seem to move my thing here. Okay, I think my computer is hanging. Just give me another sec, okay? I'm going to move on to, from monitor will be, I think, mentorship. Just give me a second. Okay, we're going to move on to mentor. As mentioned earlier, I think in my first, when I sat down the foundation, is that we educators, things has changed. We do not walk into the classroom, okay, merely just imparting knowledge, because that goes beyond. With the kids having a phone, in fact, I would say some children, they are smarter than the teacher. They're able to even give bombastic answers. That's even for us, we are like scratching our head. Okay, so having said that, we all know that kids nowadays, they come from really, how shall I say it? During our time, life is so easy. Life is, all we do is we eat, we go to school, we play, right? How many of us, like in my generation, I'm quite old actually, all right, but not telling you guys. So during our time is that we just play with our friends. We do not have peer pressure. We don't have like, oh, you know what I mean, all this comparison of things. So life was easy for us, but now we know that every child that walks into the classroom, if you really spend time with them, if you really talk to them, if you really get to know them, you know, one way or another, life is not easy for them, even at a tender age. I've known some kids, even as young as grade 2, 8 years old, 9 years old, they are already having so much burden within them because of where they came from. You know, sometimes the family, or even in the classroom, kids nowadays matured so fast, but they do not know how to handle the situation. So children nowadays, they really come in all sort of packages that even we grown up sometimes will be amazed what they have to go through. So it's very important for us not just walking the classroom teaching, but to really dig deep into them, to know them and to reach out to them and to do more and beyond. Okay, they sometimes when you look into the eye of a kid, you can see the desperation. I don't know how to put it. You know, it's like that they're calling up to you and says, "Please help me." And all they need from us is sometimes is just a hug. Let me share you with something about this kid that's extremely naughty in my class. It's that all the time is without a doubt. Once he comes into the classroom, that's it. Everything is chaotic. He will do things to distract everybody. He will do things to get attention. So one day I just called him out from the room and I sat down and I talked to him. The first few weeks, no, I didn't get anything because it was just the beginning of the month of the new semester. So I haven't got to know him yet, or neither has he got to know who I am or what or me. So when I talked to him, also he did not open up. But I didn't give up because I knew something is wrong. We all know educators who have been educators for years, right? That when a child behaves this way, there's something inside them that is making them do it one way or another. So you need to find out. So after a while of talking and really spending time with him, I really found out what he has to, or what he has gone through. And you know what? Just a mere action of hugging the child, just hugging him, he broke down. I'm sorry. Okay. You know, when I hug him and he cried, he just cried and when he cried, it's not just no, it's like he cried from within. It's like something just broke out, something just released from within him, and he was shaking. The whole body was shaking, and he was crying and crying. It's like he was able to release it. And he was able to finally just able to. It's like a stopper. You just take out the top of it, and then everything just go. You see, just a small act of just just holding the child. And you know what? And ever since the day where he really cried, and just the next day itself, he was like a changed person. I was surprised too. In fact, everybody was surprised. When he came in, he just sat in his place, and he's just like a normal child. But of course, once in a while, he still want attention from me and that sort of thing. So what I'm trying to say is, why I'm sharing all this is, I think you guys also, you have your kids in your classroom. I'm sure you have gone through situation with your students. You have done that, you have done that, you have done this with them. And I would like to hear it from you guys too. How things that you have encountered in your classroom, things that how you help the child to overcome. The thing is, sometimes they are so small, they're so young, they just don't know how to handle things. And they just do not know how to reach out. So we as an educator, I think this is one of the key factor. It's very important for us to really to stand in the gap between them and to reach out to them. And sometimes just a mere action, simple action, just a mere simple word of praise. Like beginning when I shared, know your flock, understand your hurt, know them and understand them. And when you have that connection, and when you have that relationship with your child, with your students, you know what? The whole atmosphere of the classroom, you can sense it changed. The dynamic of the classroom changed. Your presentation, when you teach, they're able to receive it because there's nothing blocking anymore. So I always believe, in fact, I should put mentorship at the very, very beginning. Mentorship should come first in everything. Connection, knowing them, and mentoring them. So that is why with Eduseeds system, with the lesson plan, it releases us having to boil down to prepare our lesson. It's already there. So that releases us, that gives us more time to mentor them, to know them, to reach out to them, to do more other things with them and for them. Okay? The way to a student's heart is not a single action or formula, but rather a combination of genuine love, genuine care, and building positive relationship. There's no formula to it. Even when you ask me for mentorship, how do I mentor this child? There's no A, B, C, D. There's no 1, 2, 3, 4. You just need to look at a child, and the thing has to come from within you. Your genuine care, your genuine love, your sincere love, and to build a relationship with them. Once you have that relationship, just like how we with our God, once the relationship is built, everything is perfect, right? So the same thing with us and our students. We need to build that bridge, that relationship. Once you have that, your life as an educator, I would say, is very rewarding. Not so challenging, but you still have challenges, but I would say it's very rewarding. Okay. Okay, now let's go to the last one, mastery. Okay, we as you all know, mastery will be on a weekly self-test and our monthly module test. That's how we gauge, or that's how we monitor the performances of our students with our weekly and monthly module test. Okay. Now, I think I'm going to stop for a while, and I'm going to allow some conversation, some flow of chit-chatting. Okay, I'm just going to stop sharing for a while. I need to see your faces. I'm not seeing your faces anymore. Okay, is there any questions? Anything that would you all like to add on to? Or you all like, I already heard all these things. So,
That question on the chat, Miss Susan.
okay, the
Yeah.
problem with this, okay. The problem with this mentor team is sometimes students feel pressured by the lesson they are facing from the teacher's side, of course. Understand this. But from the parent side, there is a desire that seems to impose on their child. And how can we find it difficult to provide understanding for parents to be able to understand their child's difficulty. Okay, so what you mean is that what the child is facing is more of the pressure from the parent. It's like the parent is really pressuring on the child, and we as the educator, we know where the child stands. Am I right in the question?
Yes, correct, Mrs. Sun.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to think of some circumstances in my previous years of how it is. Okay, I have a few parents too that their expectation of the child is, I would say is I wouldn't say it's not achievable, but I would say it's very unrealistic. So what I did was, I would say in this situation, you really have to sit down and talk to the parents. That's what I did. I had a meeting with a parent, and I spoke to the parent, and I shared with the parents. You have to talk to the parents saying, I would say, I kind of challenged the mom on whether she's more concerned of the performances or more concerned of the child's welfare. Sometimes we got to be very honest because we are the teachers and we know what the child is going through. And what I did was I shared with the mom few circumstances of the behavior of the child in the classroom, how it's affecting the child, and how the child is, how shall I say, behavior of the child is not normal. And you have to try to convince the parents. And I told the parents that too. I said, getting an A's, getting everything A's, that doesn't determine the future of your child. What is important is the welfare of your child, the healthy mindset, the mental of the child is more important. So sometimes, even though parents do not want to listen to us, what we can do is we just got to do our best to assist the child. I know it's a very difficult situation. Some parents will not even listen to us. They still insist. And do you know that sometimes I even challenge the mom that if you want to, you can withdraw the child and take him to the next center and see how he or she performs. Because sometimes parents think that we are God. Sometimes parents think that once I bring a child to this center, you as an educator can do everything. And they kind of pass the responsibility to you as an educator. Where else actually it is their job too as a parent. Actually all of us, I'm sure many of us are parents, we know that. In fact, the beginning of, I would say, mentorship start from the parents. But nowadays parents are so busy, they have no time for it. So they throw it to the teachers. They think that by paying us, they can do. So they demand for this and this and this. So sometimes I know it's not easy to talk to parents who are very demanding, who insist on having what they want. But sometimes educator, you have to stand firm for your student. You have to stand on their side and you have to defend them. So what you do is sometimes you got to challenge the parents. If they want to, take them out, put them to another center and see how well the child does and ask the parents, what is more important to you? The result or the welfare of the child? So that's what I did. You just got to throw in the challenge to the parents. Sometimes we can't have all the answers. Sometimes we can't solve all the situations. Yeah. And meantime, on your side, we have to do our very best to encourage the child. We got to do our very best to be there for them, to know that there's still someone here that can believe in you. There's still someone here that will stand by you. Sometimes it does makes a lot of difference for the child to know that there's someone out there believe in me, even though my parents put the pressure on me. Okay. What about other centers? When you encounter this, what do you do? Can I hear from you too? Any other centers? Any other one?
Also, can I pose one question, Miss Susan? Because
yeah.
many center also came to us, like
Mm,
and Jessica, about because we having like there's a center that really center on the Bible, but there's also public school that don't adopt any religion. So it's like public school. So how
okay.
do we share the value for character for student without touch any certain religion? Do you have any suggestion that it's wisely? Because in
Yes.
Indonesia we are very diverse. We have
Mm,
5 religions, not only Christian. That is like that.
correct.
Any
Yeah, we do also.
Yeah, thank
Uh,
you so much.
yeah, even though previously when we are so-called a Christian school under Cempaka, we do have students that is from non-Christian family. And okay, before I answer a question, in fact, I was being reported once to the Malaysian to the education of department, um, because despite what I did was despite knowing that this child is a Hindu, I still had Bible study with them. So the mom reported me to the education ministry saying that I'm trying to brainwash the child. You see? So yes, I do understand that. Okay, so what we do is you have to be like what the Bible says, you need to be wise. Okay, you need to use your wisdom. And sometimes you do not need to always use the word God or that sort. Like for example, our value education. I used to use my value education to impart all this, because our value education previously, correct me if I'm not if I'm wrong, Jess. Previously, our value education, we do have biblical verses. But then to cater to the non-Christians, so we kind of withdrew those verses, but we still have, I would say, the what's the word for we
The
still have
value,
the
the
values.
value.
Yes, correct. So you see, sometimes for a child, whether you mention God or not, that's beside the point. But how you implement the values into their life, you still can do that without using the word of God. So for me, I use my value education. So value education, we are not as exam based. It is a lot of project based. So for me, is that what we do is we do have once a week value education, and we do it more as a classroom project, discussion, and sometimes even role play. Like for example, okay, this week we are talking about respecting one another. Okay, so you don't need to um having to use Bible verses and etc. You can you can inbuild that. We can even discuss about respecting one another in a general circumstance. You can have role play, one playing and say how you respect each other, your mom, your dad, even your own friends. And what I do is, besides having that particular lesson, sometimes I break it down into, I even use it for my devotion. Because right now, even like OIS, we are already an international school. So we do have children from all various background. So some of the teachers, they will use the value education, they'll break it down. This week, we are going to learn about, for example, respecting one another. So during the devotion, 5-10 minutes, they will implement, they talk about it, and so that's how we impart the values to the kids, even without using the word of God. But sometimes, do you know that the children, even you do not use biblical verses, some kids they know. I have a Hindu girl. When we were talking about certain thing, they said, I think this one in the Bible also got. So you see, so they kind of know. So we still can impart values. We still can do all this in the lives of non-Christians. So you use your wisdom. We still can talk about it because this is just part of life. Whether you're a Christian, Hindu, or a Malay, I'm sure their religion or whatever religion in Indonesia, I'm sure even their religion will teach them all these values in life. Every religion. So sometimes we even pray, we do a loud prayer, but we use general word God. So I will tell them, I'm going to pray. So you can pray to your God and I pray to God. So very general God, we do not specify Jesus or whatsoever. So this is how we play around in our classes since we switched to international school.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Mr.
So shall I move on quickly? How much time do I have? Now it's already 11 something. I can go on? Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just move. Where did I stop? Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. Okay, my screen seems to be like jamming from time to time. Don't mind me, yeah? Okay. Okay, teaching method, I'm just going to throw it, like I mentioned before, for teaching method, there's no ABCD, there's no 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, there's no such thing as if you teach this way, guarantee your kids will get distinction. If you teach this way, guarantee that all your students will pass their exam. Actually, there's no such, because every student, we know that. I think you have seen this picture too many times in your training. Where all students come in all shapes, sizes, and learn at different pace, right? There are some like Ferrari. You just start the engine, they zoom off they go. There are some average model car. You have to start a few times. Good, 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 good. Good, 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 good. Before they can even start. But once you get them started, they're able to move. There are some, you can't even start the car. You can't even move. So that's how our children are. They come in all different challenges in our life. So there is no so-called, hold on a second, yeah. So our Eduseeds optimum, I would say our optimum pace is we try not to leave anyone behind. If you're a slow learner, we will try to meet you there. If you're a fast learner, go ahead, zoom all the way. All right, so that is our optimum pace. And there is no one size fits all. You know that? I know that, right? Even when we wear a hat, okay, one hat can't fit all the heads. So we cannot have one solution or two solutions that will solve the problem of, how do I conduct my class? What kind of method shall I use? So sometimes, to be very honest, before I conduct my classes, I always say, God, give me the wisdom, because I do not have it all, but only God, right? Okay, so but I can just generally share some of my experiences, generally just discuss, and I do not know, even some of you may have already gone through this, done it. So later we can always discuss too. You can share with me how you conduct your classes. What are the things that you did with your student that works? Okay, all right. So to me, the key point is there's no ABC, but patient, be supportive, and be creative in your approach, because we always believe every student deserves an opportunity to shine. Okay, so like when we were a child too, even though we are slow learner, we always deep inside us, we hope that there's something in us that the teacher will praise us, to make us feel like, I'm such a good student today. I'm the best among all, right? Okay, so I would like to just very briefly share on this. I think previously our trainer has shared this too about student-centric learning. how teachers do not teach all the time, right? So when I'm just briefly giving a 45 minutes lesson, for example, we can have more 50 or 1 hour. But what we normally do is, okay, the teacher only comes to the classroom is to share on the objective. What I mean by that, I think many of you would have done that too. Okay, the students should already pre-read their lesson at home. If they did not, fine. So in my class also, out of 28 students, there's only 5 would read at home. Many of them will not even on the computer at home. So in the morning, what I'll do is I will only recap on the objective, because beginning of the lesson, there's always objective, right? For example, science. Now we're going to study about the moon. So now the whole this lesson, the period, we're going to talk about the moon. So over the objective there, they mention in this lesson, you will learn what is a moon. You will learn if there's any living creature on moon. So these are the objectives in the lesson. So these are the only one that we will share with the kids. More of 5 minutes of interaction. Hold on a second, yeah. Okay, 5 minutes, you kind of use as 5 minutes, just recap on the objective. Tell the kids, okay guys, today we're going to study about the moon. So tell me, la 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 la. So you explain a little bit about the moon from the objective. And the next 5 minutes, if the students, if there's any question, they put up the hand, and then you just talk to them. This is where you interact with the students. So even though it's student-centric, it doesn't mean that the student comes in and the student will just switch on the computer and start reading and reading and reading and do their work, because they need interaction too. So the 5 minutes or 10 minutes is a time where we recap on the objective. We talk to the kids. We throw questions to them and see if they're able to answer us. Okay? And then we will move on to the 25 minutes or 30 minutes, up to you. We will ask the kids to now proceed to read. Ask them to start reading all over again, and then proceed with the activity book. And of course, the rest of the time is where you walk around, where you look at their work. If you have time, you walk around and see if their work is correct. You can mark their work and etc. So this is just an how shall I say? It's just a benchmark. It is not a must print on the stone, must follow this. Okay, it's just a benchmark you can play around with. You know, for some of you, probably you just need 3 minutes, or you need more time to interact with the kids. It's depending on your class. Some classes, they have more challenges. Kids who have learning disability. So you may need more time to talk to them, to guide them. So this is just a benchmark, all right? So I've already spoken all these things. I went ahead. So objective is to recap on lessons, study directions for the students. So I'm just going to move on. Okay, there's one thing I need to emphasize. I do not know how many of you do that, but I believe all of you are doing that. Note taking. For grade 1 and grade 2, we do not emphasize on note taking, because we want them, and they're too young. We want them to concentrate more on learning how to read and learning how to more on speaking and reading. All right, not so much on taking down notes. So we want them to concentrate on other things. That for grade 1 and grade 2, normally we got to hold their hands. Like you got to hold their hands and walk through. So it is a totally different concept of teaching for grade 1 and grade 2. But grade 3 onwards, we should release them a little bit. We should not hold their hand all the time, but just release a little bit, and sometimes hold their hand, release a little bit, and hold their hand. But they must learn to start taking notes in their lesson, especially, I would say, science and English. Math, probably formulas, they can just write down, but I'm not so what on the math. But English and science, I would say note taking is important for grade 3 onward. Okay, but of course, grade 3, you don't expect them to start doing mind mapping. What I normally do, I'm so sorry, I kept some old photos of how I conduct my mind mapping. For grade 3, what I normally do, is the first semester, I would guide them slowly, meaning like on the whiteboard, I would already draw a few things, and then at the center says moon. And then as I go through my briefing with the kids, remember the 5 minutes of briefing to the objective, that's where I will fill up the mind mapping. I will guide them, I will assist them for at least 2-3 weeks. So at least they slowly learn how I do the mind mapping. So as I go through the objective with them, I will write down, okay, now this is the moon. Now let's just put a sign here. What about a moon? So we just write some simple sentences, 1 or 2, not much. And then we go to the next factor, next point, 1 or 2. Very simple, basic. So as they look how I conduct and how I do the mind mapping, so they will copy it, and eventually after a month or so, they will be able to do it on their own. So the first few is depending on the child. Okay, the first few months, probably you have to guide them, grade 3, when they start taking notes, guide them on mind mapping. Try not to encourage them to just copy the notes, because just merely copying the notes doesn't really, I would say it's kind of a waste of time, because sometimes they don't even know what they're copying. So mind mapping helps them to take out what is important. Okay, only the important points, and very simple mind mapping. Sometimes it's just a few sentences, it's still okay. All right, so mind mapping, taking notes is very important. And next, let's just mention a few of the teaching methods here, okay? One of it I mentioned before, flipped classroom. I'm not sure how many of you practice this. I tried, but actually I'm guilty. For my classes, not many of them does this flipped classroom. I'm sad to say it's because they don't do it. So I can't help it, but preferably, actually, Eduseeds pedagogy is a flipped classroom, meaning students need to read the next day's lesson at home. For example, tomorrow in class, they are doing math 301 1.2. So they need to review the lesson at home. And in class, instead of spending too much time trying to understand, it's more for usage, the time used for discussion, hands-on activities, okay, and personalized support or to complete whatever they need to. But I know not many does that. So that's where we have to be wise. So we do need to spend some time. So they have no choice. 5 minutes, we just brief them what they need to do. And the next 5 minutes discussion, and the rest of the time, they have to start reading and to proceed with their work. So preferably try to have flipped classroom. But if really the students are not doing that, or some students, I believe they may have things to do. Previously, some of my students, even though it's in Malaysia, they have to help the parents in the restaurant. So meaning they don't have time to do the next day's flipped classroom reading. So they have no time. By the time they finish the school, they will drop by to the restaurant, help the parents, and by the time the restaurant is over, will be around 9, 10 o'clock. So knowing that, of course, I will not insist. So these are the kids that sometimes we just can't help it. They will not be able to do the flipped classroom. But no worries, classes still can be conducted through it, okay? So art integration. One of the methods for me, also my bad, I did not prepare something for you here. Never mind, forgive me for once, okay? Art integration, okay, using music to remember math formulas. How many of you do that? I will share, I need to hear from you guys, yeah? Do you all know that when you go to YouTube, okay, you can just type on, multiplication songs for multiplication tree. And then they'll pop up so many different kind of videos where you can use. That's what I do. When I was teaching grade 2, I will use, for example, this week, I'm teaching multiplication of 2 and 3. So I will have the songs, and every day before we start the math, our math lesson, we will sing the song. We will sing the song, 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4. And then after a few days, they kind of have it in them. And do you know that sometimes when they forget, while they're doing the multiplication, they sing the song in their mind. 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4. And then they're able to do it. So songs, for them to memorize multiplication, for me, it helps tremendously. And the kids love it. You know, instead of having them to come to the class, okay, memorize now. 1 times 2, 2 times 2, 3 times 2. You know, so with songs, it make my teaching so much easier. I always use songs for multiplication. I even use songs for my English for the younger grades, where they have, like, for example, phonics. They have songs where they will sing, you know what I mean? A for apple, A. You know what I mean? It's very fun. I'm sorry I did not prepare that earlier. But if you go to YouTube, you just type down there, you know what I mean? Phonics A or alphabet A, music or song. It comes up with so many. So you do that, and the kids will find it so fun. They look forward to it. Even though some kids do not enjoy math, they dislike math, but once I play those musics, they look forward to it. Because why? They look forward to sing out the multiplication. And also when they do that, they look forward to the subject. They look forward to it. And when they do it, they sing it in their mind. So they're able to do the work. So try it out. Okay, it works. And what else? English phonics, multiplication. Yeah. So use music. There's a lot in a YouTube. You just check it out. Consistent. Okay, so for this week, choose 2 songs, 2 multiplication. Or English, when you're teaching them phonics, A, B, or even they have like C, H, ch, or K, you know. So they have so many in the YouTube. Try it out. You will make your class so interesting, and the kids will enjoy it. Trust me, even for grade 3, grade 4 multiplication, you'll be surprised. The kids will still enjoy it. All right. And role play. What I do is sometimes like VE, I mentioned before, even like for VE, for sciences, there are some certain, how shall I say? Okay, I'll give you one example, okay? Like for science, there's this one particular chapter for grade 5 where they talk about respiration, you know, and there is one part where the kids can never remember because there's so much to remember. Like you breathe in, so what do you breathe in? And where does the air goes to? And what happens when it's over here? And then da. So what I normally do is I have a role play, or even just a kids coming out. I will ask them to remember it, and I will help them by, for example, I tell them, okay, inhale now. And I ask them, so what are you inhaling now? Oxygen or carbon dioxide? Then the kid will say, I'm inhaling oxygen. So when you are teaching, going through the whole system of breathing, you don't just on the board, la. Have them do it. Have them like literally breathing in. And then when it comes to here, have them to put a hand here. So where does the air go? How does the air goes down, carry on to your lung? It's through your trachea, and then everything. So that's how sometimes you have to use your imagination. Sometimes I just kind of think, okay, how am I going to make this subject interesting? It's so boring, you know, and it's so difficult for the kids to remember. So we try to come up with something. And from time to time, I will tell them, I'm going to call up any names from time to time to come out and to do this role play or to do this action. All right. So the kids will make sure that they remember it. And then when I just from randomly, anytime I call them up, they'll come in front of the classroom and they start doing it. I'm breathing in oxygen through my nose. All right. Now the oxygen is being carried, okay, to my trachea. And then it goes to my lung. Okay, what happens to my lung? La. Okay. All right. It exchange and the carbon dioxide will be flown out. And what happened to my diaphragm? So you see, that's how when they go through, like it's a mind mapping. They go to here, and then here, and then here, and then here, and then it comes out. So you see, by doing this, the kids will, number one, make sure they remember, because teacher is going to call me anytime. So make sure I know. And when you have a competition, when you start giving points to those able to do it, kids, when it comes to competition, they are number one, right? Teachers, they are number one. They can't wait to compete. They can't wait to win. So just to show off the winning side, they make sure that they remember. Okay, so that makes, how should I say it? Just add on to some spice to their learning instead of just reading and then try to memorize it. Okay, all right. And then, okay, gamification. Okay, what I sometimes I do is I give points. In my class, normally if I have 28 students or 25 students, I will group them up from the very beginning of the semester. I will mix up the kids, the good ones with the average one, with those that need help. So I will group them up probably in a group of 5 or 6. Then I'll ask them to give a name to your group. So this is going to be your help group. You will help each other, okay, in everything. If a group does well, I will give you points. So I will have, okay, a scale there, and I will use a star. So whenever they do well for the whole group, they will earn a star. So this is how I kind of make things easy, make things challenging, make it fun. So within a group, they will help each other in homework, in assignments. And so sometimes before their exam, I will give them some time to sit down in a group and to discuss. Okay, the good one will kind of help with the weaker one. So by doing this, you kind of you're in building them teamwork, to work as a team, not as the individual where you are only for yourself. Okay, and it's fun for them. They love it. Okay, and they really help each other in the end because they know if the weak one is not doing well, it will pull the whole team down. So they will help out each other, and it's very good. All right, I have even tried bingo vocabulary. Sometimes like for English word, the meaning, you have spellings, right? Our English, there's always spelling words. So what I do, the spelling words and the meaning. So I will tell the kids, you need to write down in your notes, you need to remember, because anytime I'm going to have a bingo vocabulary, and the team that wins will get extra stars. So what I do is, bingo means, okay, I will come up with, for example, the words and the meaning. So I'm going to read out the meaning to them. For example, um, meaning for, man, I can't think of one. Terrible. Mm, can someone help me? Okay. Meaning of, okay, I will read up. Say, okay. What is the word for you need to eat? I need to eat right now. Okay. What is the word that you've learned in your English? So they learn hungry. Hungry means, oh, I need to eat right now. So the word is hungry. So you need to find that word in your bingo game. So I need to prepare a bingo, you know. I'm not sure whether you all know the bingo game. Okay. So the words will be there. So they have to find that word. So the next, I'm going to give them another meaning, and they have to know the word, and they got to find it. So that is one way of challenging them to learn their spelling. Instead of saying, okay, next week I'm going to give you spelling. So everybody please remember. So it's boring, right? So what I do is, next week we're going to have a bingo spelling test. So everybody's excited because it's a competition. All right, guys? And of course, normal class competition, friendly competition. All right. So all this is things that I can't just come up to make it interesting for them and easier for your life, easier for you. Okay, teacher? And outdoor learning, I think this all of us does that. You know, sometimes we have certain things, we just take them outdoor. Okay, the nature as they walk, science, where you study about the birds or even the leaf, photosynthesis, all these things. You can take them outdoor, where you can go to the park and you can learn from it. Okay, so there are many others that you can learn as you're out there instead of just confined to your classroom. Yeah, brain exercise. Hold on a second, yeah. Wait, I just need to. Brain exercise. Okay. I know my deadline is 12 o'clock, okay? All right. I will stop wherever I need to stop, okay? Thank you. Okay, brain exercise. You know what? This works because, like I said, our kids, nowadays, they come in very challenging package, right? We give them names, which is actually sometimes I don't quite like it, like ADHD, all these kind of things. So, they're very challenging. The brain just doesn't work like a normal kid. Go to YouTube, guys. You can type down there this word, brain gym. Okay, this brain gym. What I do with my class is that before I start my classroom, I will help them to do exercises. They in the YouTube, when you type brain gym, they have many kind of exercises. But I choose a simple one so that the kids can do it. So I will spend 2 to 3 minutes before school starts, after my devotion or after my motivational class, motivational time. I will ask them to do it. Okay, guys, let's do it, because it does help them. Certain exercises help them in their memory retention, or their concentration, or the left brain and the right brain. So it does. So it's up to you what exercises you want to choose for your kids, but do it every day. So 2-3 minutes before school starts, they'll do it, and if it's fun to them, they love it, they do it. And then sometime in between lesson, before the next lesson, I will ask them to, okay, stretch a little bit. Now let's do the brain gym. Do you know that it does help? I have seen improvement on kids, especially concentration. Kids that's like moving around. Some kids, they just can't sit still. So after half a year, because we don't do it that long, only 2-3 minutes in between time. Okay, 2-3 minutes, or even during recess time, before they start the work, okay, they do it again. You see, so one day I incorporate a few times, and after half a year, for me, I've seen some improvement in my kids, in their concentration especially. So try this brain gym. I truly encourage you all. Okay. All right. I think I have another 15 minutes. I think I'm just gonna. Shall I stop here? If there's any question, is there any
We
question?
still have question from Pahadi inside the chat room, Miss Susan.
Okay. All
Thank
right.
you.
Let me read. Yeah. Okay. Let me start. Okay. The parents thing. Okay. Now is the value education, right? Regarding value education, in case of children who are level 19, and they're no longer getting that lesson, correct? The connection is for students who enter our place directly at level 9 who previously came from another school. Okay, I mean, it's fine. Even though, when they come in grade 9, which you do not have value education anymore, but do you know that teachers still can use that? Okay, from teachers can still use, I mean, they do not need to have value education, but they still can implement values in their life by building relationship. I noticed when I observe our IG teachers, um, how shall I say it? It is the rapport, the relationship they have with the kids. And I can see how some students, they really listen to the teacher. So at the end of the day, it all boils down to your relationship. Once you have your relationship, especially the older kids, when there comes to grade 9 or 10, they are no longer little kid where you scold and scold and scold. It's a totally different concept of teaching already, right? They are older boys. So now you gotta treat them like a man, a young woman. So encourage your teacher to really build relationship. Because once you build a relationship, even sometimes, I think you all do that, do you all? Like sometimes you go out and have makan with them, food. Like just go out to somewhere and what. Do you know that all these things really helps? Because I have seen one teacher in IG, she's very strict. And when she's conducting her class, the students are scared of her. They'll be like, oh, this teacher. But once the school is over, the student will go to her and chit chat with her, will talk to her, and they even go out sometimes for a meal or just hang out. So it really makes me think, how come this teacher can handle the class, make sure they do their work, very strict with them, but yet when school is over, she's very close with the kids. The kids are what? So end of the day, it's a relationship. So even though we're not using value education for grade 9 and 10, but still that doesn't stop us imparting values in their life. We still can do that. Yeah. But I know it's more challenging. Some kids coming from other school, I know. We have children coming from Chinese school for us here. They're already inbuilt, their speech, the way they talk, the way they behave. But you know what? When you touch their heart, You know, one of our kids, yeah, even though how old they are, they think they are like, yeah, I'm a man now. But once you touch their heart, they are just like a little kid. They will listen to you. Uh, when I have one grade 6 student, that grade 6 student is already 17 years old. But it's because he came from a Chinese school, he cannot go higher level. So he can only go to grade 6, even though he's 17. And he is havoc. You know what I mean? The way he speak, the way he behave, he's like a gangster. You know, that's how it was. But every day, we keep telling him that we believe in you. We believe in you. You know what? You are not like that. You can be better. It took a while. It took us almost like 1-2 years until he was in grade 8. But you know what? He finally changed. So sometimes, you know what the Bible says? We just keep sowing. We just keep sowing. We just keep sowing. We do not know when it's going to blossom. We do not know when it's going to grow. But we have to believe, okay? Our positive speech, our positive words, even how hard the boy is, eventually it can be broken. But just believe and just keep sowing. Okay, Pastor? Yeah? Pak Hadi, okay. Yeah, Pak Hadi, so yes. So I think the main thing is truly relationship, and just keep believing in them and just keep sowing whatever we can in them. Because once you think negatively, once you say, that's it, he's gone. He's not good for he's good for nothing, and that's how it shall be. Yeah, Fahadi? Okay, we want to ask how to treat our student if there's one of them really can't catch up lesson. What should we do? We still wait for the student who can't understand the lesson and continue? Or no, we don't. Okay, if in a class you have, for example, one or two students that is really very, very weak, and you know that he cannot perform with the rest, we don't wait for them. The rest will move forward. The rest will go on. So for this week one, we will have to, normally what we call it, remedial classes. We will have no choice but to spend our extra time with them. Like after school, we will tell the parents they have to stay back. So we have to spend at least, spending extra an hour every day to guide them. Okay. But if these students are having, if they're slow learner, it's okay, we can do that. So you need to have extra time with them. They got to stay back after school, or even sometimes we don't let them do certain activities like their physical exercise, certain things we feel that they can skip for a few months to catch up in their work. So we use those time and have them sit next to us and we guide them. So we try to use whatever time we can to guide these students, but the rest will still move on. We do not wait for them. But Pak Hadi, if all these students, if some of these students, they have learning disability, that means even how much you try to guide them, how much you try to teach them, they still can't. You got to talk to the parents. We have to. So you have to tell the parents the truth. You have to explain to them the actual situation, and the parents have to accept the reality. I know some parents will not, because we do have some kids that we know they will not be able to even sit for the IGCSE. There's no way. They can just go through and that's it, but they can't sit for IGCSE because of their learning disability. So we will inform the parents. So we let the parents decide. If the parent says, never mind, just let him study through, and even he doesn't pass the IG, it's okay. Then we will just let it be. So we let the parents decide, Pahadi. We tell the parents exactly what is the challenges of the child, and we let the parents decide. But on our side, we still do our best. Okay? student continue the next level, or we have to make them all continue? Yeah. So does that answer your question, Pak Hadi? No more? Okay. Actually, I've got a few more things to talk about. Can I very briefly talk about the module test? I'll just run through very briefly. Can I? Angela?
Still got question in the chat room. Probably one more question, Miss Susan. Yeah.
Is that one more question?
Yes.
I couldn't see it. Which one is it? Is it from?
We want to ask how to treat our student if there's really is there any student cannot continue to next level?
Is there any student can't continue to next level, or have to make them all continue to next level class? Or I mean, there's one particular student that did not pass the exam, the module test. Okay, yes. All right. It's very much depending on the age. Okay, normally what we do is, if the kid's not able to fail in a module test, we're referring to that. Okay, what we do is, you have to gauge the age of the child. For example, if the child is much older, so we will still allow the child to move on to the next module, but he has to, meantime, do revision and resit for the exam of the previous module. Does that answer the question? Or we do not let him redo the whole exam, only do the correction. Does that answer the question? I think this particular child, the class is sitting for the exam, and you have 2 or 3 students who failed the exam. So these 3 students, what you do is, you give them probably 2 or 3 days to do revision and come back and do their correction. Okay? Just to do the correction, and then you allow them to move on to the next module. Okay. Actually, I want to very quickly move on to talk about this module test. Can I just share 5 minutes with you all?
Can.
Can, okay. All right. Okay. Just very quickly on this module test, yeah. This is how I practice with my kid. Angela, you can see the screen, Angela?
Yes, I can see it clearly.
Okay, all right, okay. Okay, preparation for module test. Okay, this is how I do conduct with my classes, because I know there are some kids that somehow over and over again, they can't seem to get through their module test. And this is not cheating. Don't get me wrong, okay? Number one, what I do with my kids is, not with them, but on my own, I will always review the module test first. Okay, I will use that module test as a checkpoint, meaning I will roughly know what are the questions that's coming out, what are the topics that's coming out, what or how they're going to pose the questions. So when what are the topics and how the questions are asked? So when I conduct my classes, says now we are starting our lesson, I will always give extra emphasis on those topics. Okay, so when I'm going, for example, let's go through again on your breathing system. There's one exam where they will ask the student to write the whole thing from A to Z, how, step by step. So I know many kids, normally through my years, they can't get this. So what I do is, when they come to that topic, doing note taking, I will make sure they will do the mind mapping, they draw the body, and step by step, they will do it. I will make sure that the note taking is very clear and precise for that particular topic. Okay, and I will always conduct additional activities and projects for them to better understand that particular topic. So it doesn't mean that I ignore the rest. The rest, we still conduct it, and I still ensure they understand. But I emphasize more on those few topics which I know the kids will struggle when they do the module test. So what I do, number one, I review the module test, and I use that as a checkpoint. Okay, the kids will still not see it. All right. And then as we go through our lessons day by day, I will emphasize on the few particular. I will repeat a few times. I will ensure the note taking is very clear. And I always have additional activities or projects for them to really thoroughly understand those topics. And before the exam, I always give them a pre-test. And how I prepare my pre-test is, for example, okay, I think that's okay. A pre-test, what I normally do, like for example, math. Okay, I know a lot of kids can't handle word problem. Am I right? Word problem. They always have problem trying to understand it and work it out. So what I'll always do is the pre-test, I will make sure I come up with a lot of questions that is quite similar, but not exactly, all right, to the module test. I will let them practice, and I will spend a day or two before the actual exam day to do pre-test with them. So one day I will give them the pre-test and let them do. Then I'll see where they are struggling, where they are weak at. Then I will do revision with them. So I will normally spend 2 to 3 days on pre-test, especially math word problem, before they do the actual exam. But for English and science, I just need to do one day, because English and science is more of reading and understanding. So that's easier. But math, I notice normally kids, when they do their word problem, they struggle tremendously. So I will have a pre-test for them. They do. I will mark their pre-test paper, and I'll see where they are weak at or where they are struggling. Then I will do revision with them. So when I do this, when the actual exam comes, I notice even out of 28, I'll probably have only 1 or 2 that fails the exam. But I just let them do correction. So this is how I conduct it. And of course, mastery score is 80. But actually, it's not like passing. We have to ensure at least the kid reaches that certain level. You know what I mean? That mastery, that number 1 level. Okay? So 80 is our mastery mark. And anything that's below, like 70 and below, we will have additional activity to top up. Sometimes the kid may get even 69. I still accept it. 69 is still pretty fair. So we will have additional activity, and the marks that they gain from the activity, we will incorporate, we'll add on to whatever they have to let them go through. All right. Of course, if they fail real badly, between some even gets 20, 30, 40, 50. So that they will definitely need to resit for the exam, but you need to give them personal coaching in the sense that you need to revise with them, go through with them, and if can, give them another pre-test and see how they are before they sit. But meantime, while they are revising and waiting to sit for the alternate test, you move on to the next module. So they will not be left behind. They are still moving along with the class, but then they still at home, must do revision. After school, teacher got to coach them a little bit. And when they're ready, within 2-3 days, they resit for the exam. So that's how I conduct I do my module test with my students. And I want to end up by throwing this to all of you. Okay? Sometimes we can do all the above that we have shared just now. We have done this, we have done that. We tried everything. But you know what? It still doesn't work. So this is what Auntie Judith always tells me. When everything fails, try to imagine the child that's standing in front of you. What if that child is yours? What if that child is your own child? What will you do? So when you look at the child, imagining that that is your own child, and you already done everything and it still doesn't work, you know what? Sometimes from within you, the answer will come up. Okay? So I'm leaving you all with this. When everything fails and the child is standing in front of you, don't give up on them. Imagine and ask yourself, what if this child is mine? What will I do to that child? Am I going to give up on him or her? Or what am I going to do? You will have the answer. You will find the answer. Okay, so I think I have to end my session here. It's 12 o'clock. All right, guys. In fact, I got a few more to share, but I think probably the next session or another time. If you want to, I think I can ask Jess, if it's okay. I can share my slides, all these slides that I've shared with you all. I can forward to you all if you want to. All right, just more of a recap from time to time. And one more question. Okay. Is there any student can't continue to next? That's the one I've answered, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, shall we conclude with a prayer? And I guess, yeah, Jess says, you got to go. Okay. All right. Let's just pray and commit everything to the Lord. Heavenly Father, we come before you. God, we know that nothing happened by chance, Lord. You are in control in every situation. You are in control every second, every minute. Even this mere meeting, we think it is organized by us, but no, you have ordained this time, this moment for this event. Everything happens with your knowledge. And God, I just want to commit, Lord, all the schools, the Indonesian schools, Lord, into your loving hand. Because those children belongs to you. They are yours. You created them and you know each and every one of them. I ask for your abundant blessing upon all those children, God. And I ask, Lord, that your hands will be upon them. And that when they grow up, Lord, they will grow up in your grace and in your mercy. And when they grow up, Lord, they will know the true living God. They will call upon your name and they will bow upon your name and they will pray and they will praise and worship you, God. And also, Lord, I commit all the educators, Lord, into your loving hand. Lord, I pray, Lord, that you will bless them, Lord, that they will see through your eyes. Lord, that the heartbeats, Lord, will beat, Lord, according to yours. And that when they reach out, Lord, that hands will be the extension of your hands for the students, Lord. And when they wrap their arms around them, your love will engulf them, Lord. But I just commit, Lord, Indonesia into your loving hand. I know you have great purpose, you have great plan for them. And nothing, Lord, nothing shall stand against your purpose and your plan for them. No weapon formed against them shall prosper. Because you are for them, nothing can be against them, Lord. And one day, Lord, the whole nation will bow down and proclaim that you are King of Kings and Lord of Lords. We just commit them into your loving hand and we thank you, Lord, in advance for the great things that's going to happen in Indonesia, Lord. The revival for the children's life, the educators' life, and the lives of everybody. And in everything, we honor you. And we pray this, we claim this in your mighty name. Amen. Thank you, Lord. Jess, I pass it back to you.
Thank you, Miss Susan.
Thank you, Miss Susan. Thank you so much. Thank you for your sharing. It's such a wonderful, inspired, motivational, words from Miss Susan.
Yes.
I know it's not in the time is not enough. Actually, Miss Susan got next topic, which is for me is a very deep topic, which is social emotional learning. Actually, she want to touch base on the behavior, of the students and also as the educators. But I think maybe next we
Next time,
will,
yes.
we can arrange another session.
Correct.
Next training. Thank you, Miss Susan. Thank you so much for
Thank
your
you.
time. For your time and for your sharing. Thank you. I think before we go to the next session, together with us here is Mr. Chung, but I think we will give a bit time for the educators to have their break time. Yeah, Chung, is it can? I think 10 minutes. Is it enough? 10 minutes?
Enough? Okay.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay. See you in 10 minutes time.
Pak Hadi, maybe I want to
Pak
and Pak
Hadi,
Hadi and who we have the other one is Kirana. Is it?
so
Have you?
today Vidya Kirana got 6 people, Mr. Chong, inside. They use one account because
Oh,
they
okay.
like big monitor on their school.
Okay. So everyone can see,
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna start. Today I'm going to talk about more on the education pathway for IGCSE. So let me present first. You can see the screen, right? So just want to talk about a bit about Eduseeds curriculum. So this is for the IGCSE side. This is what we have for the curriculum. On the national plus side, then I will pass to Miss Angela. Okay. So for Eduseeds, we have primary grade 1 to 5. This is all the curriculum that we have, especially if some of you are using the Achieve 3000 Smarty Ants and also the Access Literacy. Yeah, we have creative writing, English, Bahasa Malaysia, Mandarin, mathematics, science, and then the other one we have the STEM. The latest one is we are using Chumbaka, so well education and social studies. And we also have Bible series. This is more for the topical side one. Yeah. Now on the lower secondary, grade 6 to 8 is similar. The only difference is actually we will be starting our pure sciences on biology, chemistry, and physics. And everything all is the middle instruction is in English. Then we go to the upper secondary, which call the IGCSE years. So we still have the most of the same program that we have here, but on the English we have the O levels and ESL, English as a second language. So the paper you are taking is 1, 1, 2, 3, and ESL. So the other one is additional mathematics plus the normal mathematics. The pure sciences are still the same. And for the arts one, we have accounting, business studies, and economics. So these are all the subjects that is offered in Eduseeds. So this normally when we present to the centers and the schools. So these are all mostly all the curriculum that you can take 7 to 8 subjects, yeah, depending on your students, which one you want to take the IGCSE one. Then you will go to the next level is going to tertiary. So I'm going to show you the pathway of how after you are taking IGCSE, you are able to go to the course that you need. So in order to do a degree program, you need 5 credits to do any degree program. With the exception, if you want to do specific, like for example, you want to do medicine, you want to do medical, you have to take biology. Now, if you want to do you want to be a chemist or pharmacist, you have to at least additional mathematics or the relevant pure sciences subject, because you will be taken into consideration if you want to take certain courses. You will have to meet certain prerequisites depending on the courses you want to take. So for after you take IGCSE with the equivalent of 5 credits, you can do the courses that you need. The other one is you can opt for A levels. There's a year 12 or equivalent, meaning you finish, like for example, in Indonesia, you finish your the highest one is called SMK, is it? Angela?
SMR.
SMR, sorry. You finish SMR is equivalent to year 12. Then you can go to tertiary education in any country. So the first level is you can go to international and do your pre-U, which is A level. You can do INTI foundation program. That is an INTI university in Malaysia that we are having these foundation programs before you go to the main programs. You also can opt for diploma programs. Now, with diploma programs, you just need only 3 credits. 3 credits, then you can apply for diploma courses. Now, you also can opt for American program 2+2, or you can take the American program 4+0. So depending on where you want to go, these are the programs that you can have. Meaning is 2 years in the local in Malaysia, or if in Indonesia you have these universities depending on their training program. So this is a 2+2 and a 4+0, 4+0, meaning you take locally, but your uh, accreditation or your your degree will be reflected on the university that you take. Okay, moving on, then you can have a training program. You can take your degree in US or in UK, Ireland, or Australia, or some of the university in Europe. So later I will show you what are the university that affiliated with us, where we can recommend to you. Okay, we can do placement. Or you can do any degree in Malaysia or postgraduate after you having a degree in any private colleges in Malaysia. Okay. So they move on, then after you get your degree, then it's your employment already. Then you can do your postgraduate. Okay, this is basically all the pathway when you finish IGCSE and you go to take your degree, take a diploma. And one thing that you must understand also is like you are able to take a certification. That means a certificate program with only 1 credit. So we have also like those students who are OKU, how do we say in Indonesia? Special needs. So they can take any courses with only 1 credit. So it depends on the certificate level of that program. Okay. Before I go on, do you have any questions from Pahadi or as they Vida Kirana? You got any question? No question? Pahadi?
I think Padi is having difficulty to readmit.
Huh? Pahadi have difficulty to listen to me now? You want me to repeat?
No worries, no worries. He had having difficulty to admit himself to the Zoom meeting because just a minute, yeah.
Yeah, no problem. And Jessica, is this session recorded?
Yes,
Yes,
recorded.
then maybe we can share with them later.
Yes.
So if
But
Pahadi
sometimes
needs,
they will have a question and they can ask you directly.
yeah. If not, then you can ask me directly after this. How about from Kirana?
They don't have question for
You don't
now.
have question, huh?
Yes.
Okay. So if you don't have question, then I will ask them question. No?
Sure, you can go ahead.
No worries, no worries. So if anything you don't understand about this pathway, because it's very important for you to explain to the parents. So if they want to do a certain program, let's just say the child tell the parents that I want to be a doctor, I want to do law, I want to do certain program, they must you can ask us or you can ask Eduseeds what kind of courses they want to take. We can suggest to where to go, but for the parents, they are able to ask how to say you have to go reverse in a sense like if you want to take certain courses where now there's a lot of different type of courses, new courses, you have to ask the university or the colleges and ask for the prerequisite minimum requirement to take that course. So normally the career guidance or the career counselor will be able to let you know what are the minimum requirements that you need to have. So depending on the course that you want to take. For IGCSE, it is very common and easily is widely recognized. So they are able to take they will recognize IGCSE. So if you use IGCSE or you use your local year 12 passes, yeah, you need to ask. They will let you know the minimum requirement to take certain courses. So that's how you work back ways. Okay, but on general, you need 5 credits in IGCSE in order to take certain courses. Okay, so you understand, huh? So that's why you need to let the parents know that this you have a pathway to able to acquire a degree, a diploma, a higher diploma or diploma, and also certificate in any subject or training that they have. So this is very important. Yeah. So if you have any question, the parents ask you any question, and you don't know how to explain to them, reach out to us. We will train you, or we can share with you what we know, and you're able to answer your the parents' question. Okay. Any more question from Kirana? No. No. Then we'll continue. Yeah. So this is one of the university that is closely affiliated with Eduseeds. So they are Inti College. So we are working closely with them. So there are no fuss. If
Sorry,
anything,
I'm
anyone.
for the
Yes,
interruption. Yeah.
Angela?
Sorry for the interruption. Pak Hadi request to move back to the pathway, the one that because he just entered because the technical
Okay,
difficulty.
I'll go back to the pathway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
A quick recap. Thank you so much.
You want I want to see the whole thing?
Yes, you want to see
Okay.
the. Thank you so much.
Any question you want to ask from here?
Okay. Sebentar.
Oh, you want me to explain again?
Yes. Thank
Oh,
you.
explain again. Okay. 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 Luckily, this one I got a reverse mode.
Sorry.
Okay.
Thank you so
So
much.
after you take IGCSE, that means after you've done your Eduseeds program, or you're still doing Eduseeds, but you are doing National Plus route. So there's only 2 qualification that you will acquire after you're finishing Eduseed and National Plus. So you are finishing equivalent of for National Plus a year 12 program, which after you take already and using the results, you can go to a pre-U. You do your pre-U, that means do your A levels. You can go to one of the university in Malaysia, which is INTI. You can do the foundation program and doing the diploma program. Now the diploma program needs only 3 credits. And for a degree program, they need 5 credits. Now, in order to do the a certain courses, like for example, you want to do medicine, you want to be a doctor, you need to have biology. Yeah, so these are the prerequisites for certain courses. So just now I reiterate again now, if the child or the parents have they want their child to do certain courses, what you can do is you can contact the university, right, that they want to go to and the courses they want to take. Their career counselor will able to tell you what are the minimum requirements to apply for these courses. So for a degree level program, you need 5 credits with the requirement depending on the courses. Same goes with higher diploma and also diploma programs. You only need 3 credits. Okay. So on the certification level courses, you need only 1 credit. Okay, clear? Okay, right. So you also can apply to America universities, which they also accept IGCSE. Okay, it's the same requirement, but to be safe, you know where to go for that university. You go and call up or you write email to them, and you want to take a certain courses. They will tell you what are the credit transfer or the minimum requirement to do that course. Yeah. Safely said, IGCSE, it is recognized, and you do not need to take any TOEFL or IELTS. That means English proficiency subjects, because your English as a second language or 1123 English, it is recognized throughout the world. So in American program, here in Malaysia, and also maybe in Indonesia, you have to check it out. They will have training program. That means 2+2 or 4+0. That means you are able to take that degree from that university. If it offered either in Indonesia or Malaysia, you can do locally, and you will have the same degree from that university. Okay, so it depending on where you want to go. So the next one is like you can opt, if you want to do a training, you can go to America and have a degree in America. Yeah. Okay. So you also can do a degree programs in UK, Ireland, or even Australia. Right. So you also have the option to do a degree program in Malaysian private university or colleges. Yeah, which are quite a lot of Indonesian and all other Southeast Asia countries comes to Malaysia because of their culture. Because of our Malaysian culture, we have Chinese, Indian, yeah, and also Malay. So yeah, most of them like to come to Malaysia. Okay, you have option afterward. Then it basically after you get a degree is for employment, or you can do a postgraduate. You want to continue to do your masters or PhD. Yeah, this is the pathway that which the child, the student are able to go to. The maximum is that you take a PhD in Malaysia, which Malaysia is very famous for that. Okay, so any question? Am I going too fast? Angela, am I going too fast?
You're doing great. I can follow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seems like no question. Pahadi, you have any question? No? Or can I continue?
Yeah.
Is it okay? Okay. So if any question, you can ask me even after this meeting. You want to call me, or you can call Miss Jessica. So you can ask me any question here. Okay. So just coming back to Inti. Inti is our partner with Eduseeds. They are able to direct. Okay, we can direct your students direct to Inti College and universities. And if you need any information or any courses they want, let us know. Then we will, I'll say, put you with the relevant student counselor, the career counselor in INTI. Okay? So they are actually our partner. We have a memorandum of understanding with them. So they've been very helpful, and quite a lot of Eduseeds centers students have gone to INTI. Okay, we have other options also. If you want to go to Ireland, yeah, our managing director have access. He knows all these people in Ireland. Yeah, you also can do it in 7 of their public universities, either in Dublin, yeah, UCC, Trinity College of Dublin. So we also have 14 Institute of Technologies spread out throughout Australia, UK, and Ireland. Yeah. So we have this AIT, and depending on what you want to do, you can let us know.
Mr. Chong, can I have
Yeah.
questions?
Yeah.
Because one of the parents usually ask, so many like that link. As you mentioned that we have special connection with the Ireland University. Is there any special like major that you suggested for our students in Indonesia that particularly that they can take it, that one?
Oh, you mean I cannot hear. It's not very loud.
Okay. May I repeat? Probably for the one that
Okay, in Ireland, what is the thing that you are looking for?
Yeah, I mean, is there any special subject that you can recommend to student in Indonesia?
Angela?
Yeah.
Can
You
you
cannot hear me clearly?
Huh? Oh,
Can you hear me?
Susan? Okay, that's the loudest you can go. Can
Oh,
you ask the question again? Sorry, just now you're talking about Ireland or
Ireland, yeah. I
uh-huh.
mean, can you suggest any subjects that our students in Indonesia can pursue? That you can you give recommendation of the subjects that offer in university in Ireland?
Oh, can. So, better still, you work the other way around.
Mhm.
What you're looking for? What kind of like you want to go into science streams?
Yeah, usually
Kind of
science stream. Yeah, usually the
science,
parents. Yeah, science. Yeah,
Okay, currently
science.
there's a lot of new courses coming up. But the common one like you are doing medicine, okay, you are doing law, you are doing more towards accountancy or business studies, or you can take your MBA. But MBA is after taken your degree. So it depends on what you want to do actually, because I cannot cite all the courses that's available over there. Yeah. But if you want specific courses like you want to do maybe actuarial science, yeah, let's just say you want to do it, let us know. Then we can recommend to you which university to go or which country you want to go. Or we can ask our partner like Inti to contact you directly from Indonesia, because in Indonesia they have partners there. Yeah, that you can talk to, and then you can consult their how to say a career counselor. I hope I answered the question.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you very much, Mr.
yeah.
John.
Any more questions? So most probably like I just spoke to Semarang and also Kirana, is the parents will ask the question, so you must be ready to answer. But the major thing is you are able to use Eduseeds, yeah, Eduseeds National Plus or Eduseeds system itself, which is gearing them towards IGCSE or doing the National Plus. After year 12 in National Plus, you can go to any of these universities because they still recognize Indonesian National Plus. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, Angela. Yes?
That's correct. We are under grade 12. So
Yes.
actually I can have directly no need to take foundation if we
Yes.
take our we can go
Yeah.
direct. That's correct.
So, but one thing I need to caution is some university might need you to do the TOEFL or English proficiency
Yeah.
exam,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, IELTS or whatever. Okay, but in IGCSE, you do not need to do that because English as a second language and also paper English 1123 is recognized. So you don't need to do extra because that it shows that your proficiency in English is well above their standard already. That means for their how to say for their recruitment or application to the colleges, because most of these colleges their minimum instruction is in English. So the first thing they will test you is your proficiency in English. Unless you want to go to those like German or go all these countries that need you to take at least their foundation in the language in their country of origin. Yeah. Okay. So just now that all the one that I show you, like in Ireland, and also these four Institute of Technologies, and one of the most kind of like popular one is Beijing Foreign Studies University. They are quite good. Most of our students also are going there. So these are the major courses that I have currently right now. So Beijing University is one of the how to say they are ranked one of the 10 best university in the world. So this is different. This is Beijing Foreign Studies University, which affiliated with Beijing U. So some of the major courses they have is international finance, business marketing, and China's business studies. Now, this is something that they are doing to connect with other countries. Yeah. And their fees are not very expensive, actually. Okay. If you want to go to China, we have placement, how to say, counselors here in Malaysia. So if you need anything, we will connect you with that person. Okay. So I think that's the last my last presentation. Any question you want to ask in regards to the academic pathway of IGCSE or National Plus?
Yeah, we have
Okay, in the chat, is it?
yeah, in the chat. Yes, thank you.
Okay, let me see. Okay. Semarang. Is it Semarang? Okay, for Eduseed National Plus, additional requirements such as IELTS or TOEFL still needed. It's a very good question. Yeah, it depends on the university you are going to, because they will require you. Like for example, let's just say a student. I give an example in Malaysia. They finish their Form 5 or they finish their Form 6. That means equivalent to 12 years. Now, if you want to go to a certain university in that university you want to go to, that's why you need to ask the career counselor from that university. But from my experience, they will need a proof of your English proficiency. Yeah, this is one of the major things. So if you're doing National Plus, they will depends on the university and the courses you take. They might require you to do IELTS or TOEFL. Yeah, like what you written here. Yeah, what you say is correct. Yeah, depending. Okay, so I am not very sure on this, but most 80% they will ask for. They need your proof of English proficiency because the courses are basically conducted using English as the medium of instruction. So if you don't meet the requirement, then they might not accept you for certain courses. Yeah, it depends also. So I have no, how to say, you have to ask from the university. But if you take IGCSE, like I say, English as a second language, or English 1123, or English as a first language, there's no problem. They only see your result. So to be safe, you need to inquire the course and also the university you are planning to go. Okay, I hope I answered the question. Is it from Pahadi? Is it Pahadi? Yeah. So any more question, like you're asking, like for example, now you have cases of like parents are asking for certain courses. Maybe you can ask us right now. You can ask in Bahasa Indonesia. I understand a bit of Bahasa. Yang Pahadi? I cannot hear you. Sorry. Or Angela?
Yes, Mr.
Aha.
Chen. Yeah.
Yeah. Pak Hadi got anything to ask me?
Pak Hadi, I think your voice, suaranya belum keluar Pak tadi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe you can type inside then any question. Yeah, from the chat group. Yeah. We still can't hear. Sorry, Pak Hadi.
Maaf Pak Hadi, suaranya masih belum keluar.
Pak Hadi can hear us, right? I think can hear. Maybe you want to type inside.
Ya, mungkin type aja Pak Hadi, suaranya tidak terdengar di sini. Terima kasih.
Yeah, Angela, I have a question.
Yeah.
So the student finish Eduseed National Plus. What exam they are taking?
In Indonesia, now the school made their own all exam by themselves. There's no ujian nasional again.
Oh, okay.
So they need to issue the exam in their own school. They put it inside the government system. They input and the government will issue the certificates.
Okay.
Something like this. But the school, the government only like take 10 students to check on the whole school to do the test. Randomly.
Oh. So it's quite similar to Malaysia. But from my experience, most of the students coming from Malaysia,
Yeah.
they're finishing in Form 5. That means they are even also they are Form 6. If
Yeah.
they want to go to other university, they will be accepted, but they must take the paper, the English paper, any
Ah,
English paper, depending on the university, to
yes.
prove their proficiency in English. Yeah,
Same here. Same here because
yeah,
we don't have additional only certificate from government that means that you graduate from high school.
yes,
Then English, bahasa, language
yeah.
proficiency. If
Mm,
for German, of course, German proficiency test. But
yes,
if in the
correct.
Commonwealth countries or in the US, if US,
Yeah.
we have to do addition of ACT test, and then of course,
Uh,
yeah,
I think it's normally is either IELTS or TOEFL.
no, in America, especially, they need SIT test.
Oh, I say, oh, okay, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
SIT is there, but if for country that Commonwealth, no need
Mm-hmm.
only IELTS or TOEFL test is.
Yeah, yeah, correct.
Mm,
Yeah. So I hope I answer your question, Pahadi.
yeah.
Is it answer your question? You understand? I mean, like you clear already. Okay, so don't worry. If anything the parents ask you
Yeah.
and you say you will get back to them, then you come to us, then we will try to help you. Yeah,
Yes.
like for example, one parent say, I want to do this course, and then this course never heard before. Like
Yeah.
for example, uh, is gaming, like programming and game development courses is is actually very popular right now. So a lot of student thinks that you do this program, they can play games whole day. It is not that because it's involved a lot of programming and also artistic talent. Yeah, these are some things that some of the children do not understand. Yeah, so these are all new courses. Like for example, AI will be one of the new courses, or AI in accounting, AI in engineering, or AI as a standalone uh, courses, crypto, currency, and all those things, blockchain technology. These are some of the courses that may available in the future. Okay, we don't know. So if they want any question, they have any question, they ask you, come to us, then we can find out for you, then we'll let you know. Yeah.
Also,
Oh, no problem. Yeah. Mr. Hadi, laptop got problem. Yeah, it's
oh,
okay. But you can hear us, huh? Can you hear us? If not, then we can pass the recording to him. So if you want to, yeah. Okay. So that's all. If any more question, you can ask me. Jessica, anything you want to add, or any question that you found out from the previous that you want to ask me?
Normally, for Indonesia, Chung,
Mm-hmm.
because now we only offer science stream,
Right.
but in Indonesia they have other than science stream. Correct me if I'm wrong, Angela.
yes, we have social and science. We have two. We have both.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then the highest, I mean, like if we have 100 students, and then the top students going to continue. Usually, we are early in IG now.
Mm-hmm.
Our grade, same as in Malaysia, our grade 7 students
Mm-hmm.
started taking business and everything because
Mm-hmm.
we have to catch up in a few years for the A level.
Okay.
Because in grade 10, we're entering the A level now.
Okay.
Yeah, so
They
when,
A levels already.
yeah, in A level, because many students of Indonesia now pursuing for scholarship.
Ah.
So we speed up, we add again the academic, how to say, the bobot academic,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So we start really early now on IG. After graduate in primary 6,
Mm-hmm.
7 starting business already.
Oh, okay.
Because if we all took until grade 8, it will not finish. The students
Mm-hmm.
have to difficulty. So you see, we start early in everything. Yeah, for
Right.
that.
So
Science, yeah. We start
yeah.
early on grade 7.
Okay. So that means Indonesia National Plus has uh I would say a business studies in grade 6, correct?
Should be, but now because we just starting, yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
in the last 5 years, I don't think the national can give the business because the English proficiency is not yet that. So
Oh.
now we combine, even though we grade 12, but we stretch the IG until grade 10 actually in
Oh,
mostly
okay.
national school,
I
yeah.
see, I see.
And for they are pursuing a higher level, we added a few books lah for grade A because not available also in our system kan for A level,
Okay.
the
But
material.
just write to us, just it, what is your needs and everything, then we will look into it. Oh,
Yeah.
Jessica?
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, just to info that it's really coming to really fast now because
Mm-hmm.
all scholarship now in Indonesia really easy to access. So
Mm-hmm.
every school is, up on their game.
Mm-hmm.
So they're starting early on IG.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So the students can catch up or not if don't have time, not enough time.
Mm. Okay. Very interesting, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Indonesia is moving very fast.
Yes, because now scholarship really easy to access, and many
Right.
many students like really wanted to pursue the scholarship,
Mm.
and the
Yeah.
government also support
Or
for
they're offering a lot of scholarship.
full 100%.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's very good.
Even there you get allowance, you get summer camp, even the taxi also get paid by the government. So
I
it's
think,
up the game now.
oh, that's very interesting. Because the Minister of Education is the Gojek founder, right?
Yes, also the project founder, and then many the government money help to for the
Right.
education.
That's
It's a
very
good
good.
for us.
Glad
Yeah.
to hear that. Yeah.
So helping Eduseed get reach until the remote area Indonesia really get good news. So many students
Oh,
get the same opportunity again.
that's good. That's good. Yeah.
I think we need your slides so we can give them to parents that if they have questions. Already
Yeah.
asked Jessica to distribute among the teachers because they're going
Can,
to
can, can.
sessions with the parents if they ask, and then we have the guidance from your slide. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for
Yeah.
the
We'll share with Jessica.
thank you
Okay.
so much for your session.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So yeah, Jessica. Any more questions from the floor?
Begin from SD Widya Kirana. Probably you want to ask something regarding the pathway.
Wait. Uh, any more questions from Kiana? They're shy. Saya bisa cakap bahasa Indonesia.
Also, Mr. Chung, in Malaysia, do you have any education consultant that help the student to take care of the documents, the pathway from the one
Yes.
got same in Indonesia, yeah, got agent, yeah.
Universities and colleges, right?
Yeah.
They have career counselors, and these are the people because they want the student to come over, so they will give you the prerequisite, and they also help you, or they need certain documents. They will let you know,
Okay.
and to help you to basically prepare.
Okay.
Yeah. So if they want to apply to the college, they also will ask you certain pertinent questions that for the courses that they want to take, and then the prices and everything. We will connect the parents or the school to that particular person. Yeah. Then they will assist them personally. Yeah. This one is from Inti College because we have
provide
mathematical understanding.
the service. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I also can share a video that when we do training in Myanmar,
Yeah.
one of these career counselor actually come in through Zoom and explain about what they have in into. Yeah. So this is one of the uh, partnership that we have with Indy. Yeah, it's similar with any other colleges like Taylor's, that some are like what's that, Segi, and some of these private universities and colleges, Nottingham. Yeah, so these are some of the university that is in Malaysia. If
Okay.
anything outside Malaysia, like you want to go to Australia, you want to go to Ireland, you want to go to UK, and also America, we will connect you with those people there. Yeah, the university over there. And
Okay.
then their career counselor will basically will answer all their questions. It's a
Okay.
very straightforward process lah. Yeah. So, but the main thing is, okay, if you're taking National Plus, most probably they need to have an English proficiency.
Yeah.
um, But
Does
with
it? Yeah.
IGCSE, your English as a second language or English 1123 is good enough already. You do not need to take any external English proficiency test. Yeah. Also, of course, they will give you interview. Yeah. So when you got the placement, then I think what I understand, then you can apply for the scholarship, right?
Yeah.
From Indonesian government, or Indonesian government have certain universities they have in mind that they're working with and giving this grant.
Okay.
Normally it's like that. Yeah. So the government itself will specify which university that they are giving scholarship to. That go to this certain university. I'm not very sure. Yeah, this one maybe you can ask on the Indonesian side lah. What I know is on IGCSE. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Welcome. Pak Hadi, this is first time I meet you actually.
Pak Hadi
At least-
having difficulties, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Pak Hadi now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, okay, you can hear. Yeah. You
There's
can speak
one
in
question for Adi
Indonesia.
Chung in the
Yeah.
message.
Okay.
The message.
Oh, you change your laptop. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What between taking IGCSE and taking the foundation role? Okay, it depends on the courses. Certain courses after IGCSE, you still need to take the foundation course in that particular course. If you take the A levels, you skip the foundation. But if the student is very sure what they want to take, yeah, just go after IGCSE. You can opt. The parents, you can advise the parents if they want to take the A level. It's basically A levels is the foundation already. It's a PU before. Yeah, A levels is also highly recognized. So the good thing about it is, you can go direct without going through the foundation. But A levels is 1 year and a half or 2 years.
Yeah.
Foundation is only 1 year on that particular course normally. Okay, but also it may differ from courses to another courses. Yeah, like I said just now, there is a lot of new courses coming up, especially AI, programming, in STEM. Yeah, even a lot of these courses pair up with AI. So it's very, very interesting. But at the same time, also it's very new to us. Yeah. So these are some of the things that the parents may ask you. Okay, so it's good to go direct to the university, or you find out from the Indonesian Ministry of Education. All these grant given or scholarship, is it all university or certain affiliated university that they have for certain courses? Yeah. So the normally is like that. Yeah. Okay. The foundation path that I mean is third party services arrangement. Oh, okay. Yeah. Confirm there is agents, placement agents everywhere. Yeah. So don't worry. Yeah, because they actually earn from registering your students to that university, colleges. Then they will pay the placement agent. That will be very helpful. Yeah, don't worry. But actually, what you can do is also is like the parents can go direct to the university they want to apply. Yeah. Then you engage their career counselor. Oh, because they will arrange your visa, arrange your passport, or all those things. Maybe also lodging. Yeah, there's also community. Like you come to Inti college like that, they have a community of all Indonesian. Yeah. There are those student councils. Yeah, because I met few of them. They are student counselor from Indonesia. Yeah. Every country have their own student council from that particular country. Okay.
Yeah.
Any more questions? Okay. Angela, you want to add anything? Any question that maybe some of the parents asked you before?
Okay.
So I can share with everyone.
I think the one thing that parents also really wanted us to show that the connection that you just mentioned, that
Okay.
you can give an extra info, or you can meet the parents or the school to a certain link, or certain, how to say, a certain body of educations that can help the kids
Okay.
having more info what to
Yeah.
prepare. Actually, from grade 10 already can be info to the parents, so they
Yeah.
can have secure feel of secure
Mhm.
having under Oakbridge National Plus, because they knew that we can connect them and then help them with info, info that
Mhm.
they needed to that the kids to pursue. I think this one is very, very the one that parents really ask for. Okay,
Mhm.
probably the slide you can add more info. Probably
Yeah.
that, yes, that easier for teacher to explain, to parents.
Yeah. Right.
That way, I think you can add more, then can reshare to us. And then thank you so
Please
much.
compile the question that the parents have, so that we may fully equip explain to them
So,
in more detail.
in terms of financial, and then how long to prepare, when to start, okay, and then which subject to which availability subjects, usually like that.
That one is have to directly go to the university, but we can recommend because
Yeah.
certain university are famous for certain courses.
Yes, I think we can put the website or the person that easily parents to access, because
Yeah.
many university we cannot have it all, right? The university to go
No problem.
through, one by
We do
one.
from our side, we will kind of like connect with our networks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So see what we have, then we will able to assist them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Miss Jessica, anything you want to ask me?
From my side, I don't have anything because for me it's so clear. It just like what Angela said just now. Some information needs to put inside, like when to start, what to prepare.
Right.
So this, we can pass this info to the centers.
Can.
Yeah.
Ali, no more? Any more question?
No. Okay.
No, So I go to Samarang,
I understand.
you will belanja me bakso or rawon?
Yeah. Okay.
Just joking.
Just maybe one. Wait.
Yeah.
So okay, Chung, from your side.
Yeah. I'm okay already. Yeah, already finished already. Yeah.
Okay. Sudah tidak ada lagi daripada yang lainnya. So if don't have, then we will close today's session. Okay, for until this time. So tomorrow, I just want to brief a little bit for tomorrow's session. Tomorrow's session will be another session, which is the first thing is for the 1, 2, 3 and ESL, English Second Language. For those centers that you have a question, it's better if you prepare all the question, in advance. Okay, in advance. Before I continue,
Okay.
Chung, there's another one last question.
Yeah. I saw.
Yes.
Okay. You're asking is why in IGCSE there are no pathway other than social science faculties only. What about those who want to pursue IGCSE arts pathway? Okay, if I share the screen again.
Yeah.
Okay. See here. Okay, let me share again. If you look here, you look at upper secondary. If you look at grade 9 and 10,
Yeah.
below the pure sciences, you can see accounting, business studies, and economics. Yeah. These are the three major subjects that you can take. Yeah. Bear in mind that you need only 5 credits to basically take a degree course. And let's just say the student want to take accountancy, want to do business study, you want to do economics, finance. This is good enough already. Plus your English and also mathematics. Or you want to put in another one, maybe science or pure sciences, any of the pure sciences. Yeah, as a prerequisite. You also can take Bahasa Indonesia, also will contribute one of the credits, yeah, to apply for that course. So all in all, you try to take 6, 7, 8 subjects just to secure the 5 credits. Yeah. So normally what I tell parents is it's like a ticket to go to university. There's no need to explain anymore. Very simple. Ticket to go to university. They will understand 5 credits. With the prerequisite in certain courses, but 5 credits will bring you to a degree course. You do well, you have a lot of A's, you have distinction, then you can apply for the scholarship. Either it's from Indonesia or from the university. Yeah, but I'm sure they will interview the student. They will see other things also lah, like extracurricular and everything lah. Yeah. Depends on the scholarship. Hope I answered that question. Okay. Another question is, why okay. What about students who want to pathway, for example, music? Yeah, it's still the same, 5 credits. But if you take the arts, like language, maybe you want to take extra, you want to take Mandarin or some other courses. Then you take your maths, then you take your business studies or any of the subject that you are good at. Yeah, the ticket is 5 credits. Yeah. But as I know, if you want to take music, right, you can take diploma first. So that's 3 credits. It depends on where you want to go. Because like for example, I have friends or that I know, they do UC Berkeley in US. Then you ask what is the prerequisite to join. But I think they want a demo tape or something like that. They're playing certain instruments, or they have courses like they've been doing music in piano in certain grades. They want to pursue a diploma. Either they want to go to teaching in music, or they want to do kind of like a major in music. But also, you must understand that music industry can branch to many things. Stage designer, costume, specialist in certain equipment, sound engineering. You see, that one you need a little bit of engineering sciences. you must see it in a way that wherever you study, you can go higher level. But in education here, as educators, you're talking about the ticket going to this university. So it's 3 credits, you can do a diploma. After diploma, you can opt for a degree. You know what I mean? So that's why it's an academic pathway. Oh, okay. Any more questions?
Okay. Understand.
Yeah, Fahadi?
Yeah, understand.
You contact me anytime. Yeah. And Jessica also,
Yeah.
or Angela. So then anything, then they will ask us, then we will discuss with them. Then I will just share our our know-how lah, and also our best practices. Yeah, but the major thing I can help you with is to manage parent expectation and also answer the question. So when you build that kind of rapport with them, these parents will introduce other parents. That's the important thing. Okay. All right.
Okay, thank you, Chung.
Okay.
Hope we answer the question.
Yeah. Pak
Yeah,
Hadi?
actually it's very gampang ya kalau di Malaysia especially to go to social faculties other than science stream. Ini di sini gampang Pak Adi. Cuman need 3 kredit udah cukup kalau di sini. Iya. Tapi untuk for safe kita advise we advise the students to take 5 credit. Jadi apa-apa itu bisa masuk ke mana-mana. Iya. Itu. Ya. Okay, I think that's all for today. Thank you so much to Miss Susan and also Mr. Chung who with us today today's session. Terima kasih Chung. Very good sharing session. Hopefully it's answer all your question. Tomorrow we will have with Miss Martha and Mr. Su. So you can prepare all your questions in terms of English. Okay, like previously Pak Hadi, you still remember your question you want and also from Miss Vanya. Hopefully Miss Vanya will be together with us tomorrow. Miss Martha, prepare all your question. Okay, prepare all your question because tomorrow we will have our specialist for English. Martha, will help you answer the question that you have. And also for the maths primary, because we have bar model. So for the teachers, educators that you have problem with teaching delivery maths, for primary, also prepare your question. We have specialists for maths will be together with us tomorrow. Okay, thank you for today. Once again, terima kasih semua karena sudah bergabung pada hari ini. Kita bertemu lagi, berjumpa lagi esok hari. Okay? Thank you semua. Terima kasih. Ya.